Let's take a moment to talk about evidence. I know you've done a lot of work with evidence over your school career, so most of this should be review. You know that evidence is ideas from experts, academics, or other people or groups who have reliable and important information on a given topic. When someone asks you why they should believe your claim, you need to use evidence to show your claim is solid, that it's defensible and worthy of consideration. Without evidence, it's just your opinion. Some types of evidence could include examples of what you're talking about, specific details, statements from important people or experts, or events that have happened. In your paper, you need to introduce your evidence. Your evidence will come from the sources that we read or videos that we watched. You're going to use this evidence to help prove or demonstrate your point. Just a reminder that evidence can be any phrase or sentence from the source. It doesn't just have to be something someone said. It's any sentence. It has to support or match the point you're trying to make. And reminder, you've already got a lot of great evidence that you've collected in your thinking tracker. Just find the sections that say, they say, and you've probably already written down lots of great evidence. How do you go about adding evidence into your paragraph when you're writing? So there's two kinds of evidence. You could either have a direct quote, which means you copied word for word what it said from the source, or you could have a paraphrase, which means that you put the ideas in your own words. But the key here is you still have to say where that idea came from. It bears reminding again, be sure to use your best evidence and make sure it matches what you're trying to prove. Let's talk about direct quotes a bit more. I'm not going to read all of these examples on this page, but let's take a look at the first one. It says, Art Assignment reports, the research that comes out of museums benefits society in direct ways. The words in between the quotes from the to ways is exactly as it was written by Art Assignment, and I gave them credit by saying Art Assignment reports. That's a direct quote. Now let's look at paraphrasing. I don't have to copy word for word, but I have to give the general idea of what the source said, and I have to name the source. Let's read the first one. A professor named Chika Okikeagulu had to travel all the way to the British Museum to see his own history. That's my take on what he said in his video, but not exactly his words. Let's take a look at some examples of evidence from student papers that's not quite right, and let's talk about the problems. The first one says, London and Greece have been fighting a long time because they have taken lots of artifacts from Greece and Greece wants them back. That sentence is just really confusing, and I think I'm unclear on what's happening and why, and I think this could be cleared up by getting a direct quote exactly from the article to explain what's happening. The next one says, after the battle, the British Army took the Parthenon marbles because they said it was not safe here. They didn't actually say the words, it was not safe here, so it's not appropriate to put those words in quotes. That's a paraphrase, so the quotes shouldn't be there. The next one says, in source 3, it says that the dream tablet was forcefully taken away 30 years ago. I like almost everything about this except for source 3. Our audience might not know what the sources are, and it's important to give them credit directly by saying the name of the person or media that reported it. The last one, British Museum. We don't restitute, but we are absolutely committed to lending as widely as possible, including to Nigeria. The direct quote here is excellent, but the leading into it just says British Museum. We're missing a verb here. The British Museum stated or reported. Let's take a look at this next slide for ideas, ways you can include direct quotes for evidence, or ways you can use paraphrased evidence in your paper. Your teachers have shared this with you in your thinking tracker, but these are great language stems to use in your paper.